Testing.
Good night. Yes, good night and welcome to your favorite online internet radio program, www.sxmtalk.com. Of course, I'm your host, Christopher Emmanuel, and believe it or not, we're going to have a very interesting program for you tonight. Because I have, how should I put it, two of my best people in the house. Why am I saying I'm being a bit biased here tonight? Yes, I have to be so because they're doing my kind of sport, my kind of stuff. I just feel good when I have these kind of people around. What am I talking about? Of course, I pose the topics. So call a friend, call someone, tell them to log on to www.sxmtalk.com. Live and serious discussion starts now. I have in the house with me two individuals that I know performing in my favorite sport. What is it? Bodybuilding, fitness, doing your thing on stage, posing, the triceps, the back, the quads, the lats. And yes, I have a male and I have a female, and they are well versed in their sport. They are well experienced in their sports. And guess what? They're looking good. I'm going to leave them introduce themselves tonight. I'm going to start with a young lady. Good night. How are you doing? And thank you very much for being on the program.
Good night. I'm doing fine. I'm doing great. My name is Maarten Profas. I'm training at Royal Palm and I'm working at RBC.
Thank you very much. Like I say, I feel it good when I'm around good people, especially things that I like to do. I'm also here with Leon. No strangers to us at all. He have been in the sport for a very, very long time. He have a physique out of the world. It blows my mind how he managed to maintain. Because as much as I would try and try, I can't get away from the carbs. So it's hard to maintain, but he managed to maintain the consistency. Leon, good night. Welcome to the program.
Good night, and thank you for having me, Mr. Christopher. I appreciate being here on
SXMTalk.
Please tune in, call a friend. What I have to say tonight is we're getting ready for this big upcoming show that is going to be held on Saturday at Omni Sports in Galleys Bay on the front side. If you didn't get that info yet or you're just getting it right now, please call a friend, tell them, listen, it's going to be a show out of this world. We have 5 different countries coming in: Curacao, Antigua, Anguilla, St. Kitts Nevis, and of course the French and the Dutch side of St. Maarten. So you can't miss that show. You're going to be getting it straight from the horse's mouth here tonight. We're going to explain you what to expect, what you should look forward to, and just stay tuned.
Like I said, I don't have to say much more. As I tell you, I like the guys. I like them already because you know, the thing is with this sport is the dedication and the discipline that you put into it. And most of the time we just see the men getting on. But I don't so much like to see the men because I just feel bad that it's not me up on stage. I like to see the women. And I'm glad to be in the presence of one such lady. I saw her one time when we had it at the Cultural Center in Phillipsburg. Then I also saw her in the Sports Auditorium. I don't remember seeing her on the friend side Omnisport. However, I know she was there at those 2 events. I also know she partook in El Salvador. But we have her here tonight. Like Leon said, it's from the horse's mouth. We're going to go through a range of discussions. Why did you get into this sport? Why not volleyball? Why not tennis? Why bodybuilding? How hard does it take for you to reach the level to where you're at? How hard does it take for you to maintain what you're doing? What do your colleagues think about what you do? And what kind of sweet eye and seeps you does get from the men out there? Yes. SXM Talk. This is how we have. So I'm going to go straight over to my lovely female contestant who will be taking part in the show coming this Saturday in Omnisport. We're going to tell you guys more about that. But let's dialogue a bit and tell me, why bodybuilding? Why is it that you decide to... Okay, first of all, what do you do? Do you bodybuild or you're into fitness? Which one is it?
Well, when I start first, I was living in Curacao. I was just going to school. So I'm going to tell you the whole story. I was just going to school in the evening, and my school started like around 1 o'clock. So in the morning, I don't have anything to do. So I decided just to head to the gym, just to, you know,
Why
maintain.
not swimming?
It didn't hit my mind. I just thought about the gym.
Curacao likes softball and baseball. Why not softball and baseball? You
It
like
just
the
include
gym. It had somebody in the gym he was looking at, man.
No, not really. So I just decided to, start gymming. And it had this guy. Unfortunately, he died a couple of years back. And he saw me one day. He said, "You know what? You have a good body structure for fitness or bodybuilding. Why you don't give it a try?" That was in 1998.
Wow.
That's when I did my first competition as bodybuilder. And then after a couple of years, I came to St. Maarten. And then I went back into the gym where I met Antoine at Royal Palm.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I decided to train again. I try fitness. I keep in fitness, but I had in mind bodybuilding and fitness because my body structure is like in between. And it's hard for you to maintain a body as body fitness. So last year when I went to CSE, I had the same problem again, which means, I had the experience. It was a nice experience as fitness, but when I came back, I decided to switch to bodybuilding. So this year is going to be a different person on that stage.
Well, like I said, I saw you twice. I could probably I saw you 3 times, but I could remember seeing you twice for sure, which was at the cultural center in town. I think that was one of the best shows I have seen in St. Maarten for a very long time. And I also saw you in the sports auditorium. And I keep saying to myself, but this girl has a body. I don't want to get hit because she looks good. I like the muscle structure and the thing. Explain to me a bit the discipline that goes in and how do you manage to maintain?
Well, if you don't have, as you just said, if you don't have the discipline in this game, in this sport, you will not make it. And for me, is treating as others use. In this sport, you have to sacrifice, you need a discipline, and you have to have this passion for it. Because if you don't have them, you will not make it. Yep.
Well, I know. As you guys walked into the studio, you had to pass a few things on the ground, weights and bench and all kind of stuff. Because, like I said, it's something that I like doing. I enjoy doing it. When I can't go to the gym, when I can't work out, I feel sick. Do you get that same sort of feeling sometimes?
Well, guess what? I love the sport so much that I bought 2 home gyms machines. So when I cannot reach to the gym, I will jump on them. And that's my thing for every day. I have a usual routine, which means every morning, I just wake up 4 o'clock in the morning. I have to do my abs, my push-ups, pull-ups, twists before I hit my shower. And that's the way I start my day every day. I
have a few girls I just train and I try to tell them the same thing that you just mentioned a while ago. Let's talk to you a bit, Leon, because, like I said, we have been friends for a very, very long time. And if it's one thing that I'm always impressed, and I don't see it amongst other bodybuilders here in St. Maarten, but I always get it with you. You seem to maintain the consistency of your body structure. Tell us how you got into this sport and what keep you in this sport, Leon.
Well, for the viewers out there that don't really know me, I started to work out about 18 years ago in a small gym where over on the Illage Road they used to call it Cat Gym over there. I started because I got the inspiration from my uncles. I have 2 uncles that was bodybuilders. As a matter of fact, they competed at a real high level, and one of them was Mr. Antilles for a long time, and as a matter of fact, they still lift weights, it still looks great, and they were my inspiration from many years ago, and I always used to say that I want to be like them. This sport is a sport that you have to have that passion for, like Ms. Modian said, you have to have the passion, you have to have the love, you have to have the want, you have to have that drive to be going to the gym day after day. It becomes a second job, and once you have that passion for the sport, you will love it and it will love you back.
I could tell you guys this because one time let me don't say in my life, but one time I tried to reach to the level or to the discipline where you guys is at, where I say I want to compete, and I'll tell you what held me back. It's an expensive sport.
Oh yeah.
For the individual.
Oh yeah, very.
It is costly. The protein, the weights, the training, the supplements, everything that goes into it. It is costly. and one don't see the return until you reach to a certain level on a certain stage. So you guys mentioned the discipline, right? How do you work around that? Anyone can answer that question.
Well, I could start by saying the discipline that you need to have is, number one, is encouragement from either a friend or a colleague or a training partner. You know, if you start off alone, you will have that self-discipline, but when you find a partner or somebody that likes the sport maybe just as well as you do, that would give you your drive. That would give you that go on to keep going. Most people start training with me after a while and stop after a while because of differences. Could be, you know, family or whatsoever, injuries. But along, and this is the thing, if you maintain a gym that you goes to, that the people there are very, very friendly and welcoming, they're like your brothers and your sisters in the gym, that helps you to go too. That helps you a lot. A lot of people goes to the gym because the doctor tell them that they have to go to the gym. They don't really like to do it. But after they join, they'll notice, hey, this is like another home away from home. So that's what helped them, encourage them to keep coming to the gym or to keep working out. And also the other thing is results. If you see results, that helps you stay and helps you maintain your going to the gym.
Let me ask you about the cost aspect of it. How do you manage to keep up with the cost of it? Because I could imagine young people, especially young women, who would look at you and say, oh my God, I just love how this lady look. But they simply can't do it because, Leon, it's an expensive sport. Yeah. How do you deal with that?
Well, indeed, it is one of the sports is the most expensive sport. But I have to thank God for this year, because I have a lot of people out there seeing me, and you know, and they helped me. This year I have it was a blessing from God, because I said this year I don't know how I'm gonna make it, but He sent me people. You know, some people, they just saw me on stage, and I even recognize them. They recognize me, so they just come in and they tell me, "Hey, you're competing this year. You know, I want to help." So I just get the help, but you need sponsors, and which is one of them is very, very, very difficult to get here, especially on the Dutch side. So I'm very grateful this year for all the people who helped me out, you know, to get me on track.
Leon, this is not a government-sponsored sport on the Dutch side. I know on the French side there's association, the government chip in how they can chip in, they help out with in the arena that they can. It's different on the southern side of it, you know, in terms of government or the sporting officials looking at it and say, this is something we need to push, right? How does that make you feel when you see they throw the money behind the baseball and they throw the money behind the volleyball and they throw the money behind the swimming, and we don't get back much result from that? But when our bodybuilders go abroad, I mean, let's talk about our boy here, Alvin, the heavyweight. He has his pro card, I believe. And I mean, you know, we see the results coming back. When you guys come back, it's either a silver, a big trophy here, a second place, a first place. We see the results and we see them growing, yet we don't get that kind of recognition from government. How does that make you feel, Leon?
It really makes you feel sad. It makes you feel like, you know, that you should have been helped differently. But what makes you feel a lot better is when you still manage to make that position and go away and come back, and sometimes the welcome that you see when you come back home, that uplifts you're feeling a lot better. You sometimes can't always blame you know, you can't always blame the government. So because with all sports, they push and they try to get help, and you never get the help that you really actually need. But the love for the sport, and you stay there and you stick with it, you will get results. And believe me, when you come back as a champ, I can imagine how Mr. Andre felt. I can imagine, you know, when you achieve that goal, when you achieve that champ championship, that reward, you know, it puts away all the negativity. It makes you feel so great. It makes you feel like you achieved something and you did it, and makes you want to strive for more.
Like I said, oh, you wanted to say something? Like I said, I have two of my favorite people here when it comes to the sport. And I'm going to talk a bit about the competition, because I know we always have a woman that comes over from Anguilla, and she always seems to be getting the edge up on us. So I'm going to talk to my young lady here. And I know Curacao is coming, and the government throws a heavy weight behind them. They pump a lot of money behind these individuals, and Curacao looks good. I can tell you that. I haven't seen Antigua, but I know the competition that comes from St. Kitts. The French side also is looking good. I don't know if Alvin is competing this time because he's a pro now, so he's not looking for these smaller things. I believe he's not even allowed to partake in these, how should I put it, small events now. But it's growing. So I'm going to talk to them a bit now about the competition that's coming, because I know my boy Leon. All the time I see him, it's a second place. It's a third place. Very rare do I see him taking that #1 spot. We got this fella that's come over from Anguilla, but I didn't think he'd taking part this time. So he stand a chance. But this time, this lady that comes from Anguilla, I believe we got some stiff competition. Let's talk about this girl who does come from Anguilla. You know what I'm talking about, man? Because every time she come across here, she seemed to be winning all the time. But this time we got some steep competition. Curacao is coming. And you know when they come, they just come good. Leon, you know those guys from Curacao, they're looking good, Leon. They come well packed. You explain to me what is it you guys have in the bag that we haven't seen as yet that's going to make the judges and say, oh, okay, they ain't making no joke this time. Talk to me a bit.
Well, for me, as I say already in the beginning, it's going to be a surprise. And I know that Jen is right there.
That's her name.
Jen is right there. And believe me, this time my body is going to blow them away. This year, I have it, and I having goosebumps right now. It's like
she gets the goosebumps so true, though.
Yes, I am. It's amazing. It's just a transformation from fitness to bodybuilding. Believe me, it takes a lot of work. And this year, I get in it again. I'm sorry, but
that's okay.
I don't care what nobody says. It's mine.
That's the kind of effect we just have on them when they come here.
I am going for the pro card this year again. I'm going to Puerto Rico, and I will bring back that trophy.
That's what I like to hear. This is what we have here in St. Maarten to offer. Leon, tell me a bit about the competition coming out at Antigua, because I haven't seen Antigua here on the stage, but I know Curacao always comes prepared. How are you feeling, Leon?
I feel that we have a team to reckon with this year. I must be strong with that, because from last year, after we took a pro card from the CAC in El Salvador, we've been looked on. The whole world is looking at St. Maarten now. Now we're on the map. We have a team to reckon with. We have more fighting power coming back at them. Not because Alvin is not competing. For sure, we have a lot of fellas coming back. And I could be sure, I myself, I missed it by 2 points to get in the finals to the CAC, but this year, I'll be on the top of my game. They always say, never judge a book by its cover. A lot of people looks at you when you're in the street and stuff like that. I say, you know, but I'll tell you something. I need each and everyone who's listening out there, who's watching, come out to the show. It's going to be a show to see. It's going to be a competition.
The tickets already sold out now.
I already sold over 30 tickets myself.
I have my girl Jen telling her whole 5. Because listen, we have a group preparing ourselves to go down to Puerto Rico, you know. We haven't said nothing to nobody as yet. Okay. But we done got a group saving up. We done planning that Puerto Rico trip.
That's good, that's good. I'm gonna love Puerto Rico. You know why? Puerto Rico is a destination where you're gonna get more competition. You're gonna get more athletes come out. If I'm not mistaken, it's gonna be 32 countries. In spite of 21, I think we had the last time in El Salvador, because it's closer for everybody to get to. So the competition is going to be stiff. It's going to be good. So who come, going to have to come good. And I tell you, we have a team to reckon with. We're going to make St. Maarten proud again.
Let me throw this out at you, because How many women do we have, do you know, from St. Martin will be going up in your class or in your group or taking part? How many do we have?
Well,
Which show?
The show here in St. Martin, for St. Martin.
Well, from the Dutch side, we only have 2, which means myself as a bodybuilder and Cleo as
Yeah. Cleo got her back on her there, boy.
Yes, she does. So as well as Leon was saying, you know, the Dutch side have, today we had a meeting, and believe me, these guys and these girls, they look amazing. For the first time, I saw everybody, and it's like...
So it had to take Alvin to get that pro card to really say, boy, look, listen, we need to step up. We need to up the ante a bit. That's what you're saying.
Dutch side is coming back, and they're coming back harder than ever.
Leon, same question to you. How many guys do we have competing for this show coming Saturday in different classes?
Okay, just for the viewers that don't know, I'm competing for the French side. I'm with the French team. I've joined up with them for 2 years now. It's a form of getting the French side on the map and getting them up to the sport. So my help is very tremendous over there, where it's bringing them back. My heart always for the Dutch side, but I look at one island, one country. That's the way I look at it. And yes, the French side has 8 athletes coming out. They have 3 girls and 5 guys. Good. I must say they're young bodybuilders, but they're very enthusiasm. They're very, very good, and we have a good, very, very good team this year.
Let me say this to you guys, and I'm not saying this because I just want to say it. I'm saying this because I know the individual that I'm going to talk about. We have the new Minister of Education, Sports and Youth Affairs, the Honorable Minister Sylvia Jacobs. And I'm telling this to both of you guys to go make an appointment to see her and extend an invitation for her to come out and see the show. Because knowing the individual, she just needs to get an understanding of what it's about, and trust you me, she's going to make things happen. So I'm saying this maybe tomorrow or the day after. Give her a call, go and make an appointment to see her, and extend an invitation. Tell her, Minister, you need to come out and take a look at this show. Seriously. And then you're going to see a change in the apparatus when it comes to getting donations, getting sponsors, getting calls. Because it just takes for the minister to pick up the phone and say, listen, I'm sending some athletes to you, see what you can do. But she don't know much about the sport.
That's correct. So
it's for you guys to educate her and bring her up to speed and up to par as to what it's all about. So I'm saying this because I know the minister, I know the person that she is, and it's just a matter of her knowing and being there, and we're going to see a difference in the sport. Now, I want to get into a side of the sport that many people don't like to talk about. You know, we see it and we say, man, this one on that, and that one on this, right? And I go to Juliet Gym a lot. That's the gym that I would go to. And when I can't make it to Juliet, I would do my stuff right here. I have a little mini gym right here. And you would hear young people, you would see them, they just started, and they seen a little bulge coming up on the bicep, the chest. No, they finally know how to jump the chest a little bit, so they feel in things, and and then you're hearing them saying, yeah, boy, it's time for me to start going on some juice. It's time for me to start doing this and doing that. That's the side of the sport that we frown on, because it gives the sport a bad name. What message would you send to young people when they reach that stage and saying, that is what I want to do? And you telling them, you don't have to do that. That is not necessary. How should that be bring across to young people who is up and coming in the sport? Anyone can answer that question.
I'm going to leave that for Leon.
Leon, shoot.
All right, I will say it's a negative way of thinking. Youngsters, if you're coming up in the sport and you're in the gyms and you're working out, it's nothing wrong in waiting to get to where you need to get at a slow pace, because it's going to be done correct. You're going to be encouraged to take something from probably a colleague in the gym or something like that is trying to get you to sell you something. But let me tell you something. It's no way good when you get it fast. You need to really stick with your, you can use natural proteins. There's natural proteins that sells. It's a duplicate of the food that you eat and stuff like that, but it's in powder. You can use, because that's all natural. But when it goes to taking that steroids, please stay away from it. I can tell you this. I've been in the sport for more than 15 years, and I mostly try stay far away from that. A lot of people are like, how come you working out so long? And when people think about bodybuilding, sometimes they look for a big, huge, gigantic. It's not like that. Bodybuilding is building a body, and everybody's body structure is different. You have big people, you have small people, but your body determines of the person, of who you are, and you got to make sure, protect that. And if you use steroids, you're going to damage that. I can tell you that for sure.
I'm not going to even elaborate a bit more on that because it was well said. And those are the kind of things that we like to do here in terms of bringing all different sides of the sport. Now I'm going to talk to my lady friend here, because I know that when women look at her, some will frown and some will open their eyes big and some will be like, And I could imagine the kind of response she would get from some men, because every time I go into RBC and I see her, I'll be like, this is what I'm talking about. So I want to get the different sides of response you just get. You know, tell me a bit. When men see you and women see you, what is the most response you would get from them just by their expression, or even if someone coming up or saying something to you?
You know, sometimes as they're standing in line, you know, they watch it like, I don't want to go by that one. You know, some of them will say, you know, they will say that in a joke, but most of my co-workers, them inside it, they just be amazed the way I look. They just ask me, like, they just touch me. You know, it's not in a bad way, but
right. They want to see if you're hard or soft.
Yes, yes, that's the way. They always touching me. You know, you hard and you didn't. You know, they always encourage me, but very good feeling.
From your colleagues
yes.
and everyone. Leon, I know, like I said, that you have been in the sport for a number of years, right? And you mentioned something a while ago that many people don't know. When you said it's, your body structure is different. In addition to that, there's different class. Yes. There's heavyweight, there's light heavyweight, there's middle, there's different class of bodybuilders, yes. Right? I want to ask you this, because you mentioned something a while ago talking about you miss it by 2 points, getting your pro card, I believe, or in CSC when you were in Salvador. What will it take for St. Maarten to host a major bodybuilding competition? Because, I mean, back in the days, we was close to it, and we have seen to fallen back a bit. What would it take?
Well, it takes consistency. Our board members and our bodybuilding associations will have to be consistent in the sport, bring the sport to a level that they can handle that capacity of bringing a competition of that magnitude to St. Maarten. The sport is like, it has like 40 countries involved. If you're going to host a sport like that, you need to make sure you have the venue, you have the monopoly, you have all of those things. And for you to get to that level, you have to be like, the Dutch side was closed there once upon a time, and they had very close relationship with the directors and the presidents of the sport. And what they do is they do the same thing, just like the Olympics. They do what they call raffle. Yeah, you pick, right? And whichever country will be hosting it, you will know at least 4 years in advance, so you can prepare yourself and get ready for that type of competition. But I think St. Maarten can do it. We have the hotels, we have we can prepare the venue, because we have done a lot of big stuff here already where sports is concerned. It's just a matter of getting the sport back to that level.
I was in Aruba about 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, and I had a picture where I was working out in Hardcore Fitness Center. It is owned by Giovanni.
Oh yeah,
the CAF president. Yeah,
he's still there. He is
still there, and he still looks solid. And I think he has one of the best gyms that I've been to in Aruba, and I always see the people that comes through the gym with his pictures and stuff like that. My thing with it, where I'm trying to get Leon is, you know, the discipline part of this sport makes people come in and then they run out, and then they come in and then they run out. And I believe it has to do with support. I don't think we get that kind of support for our bodybuilders here in St. Maarten. You know, and I need you guys to elaborate as to why you need the support. Because I think this sport takes much more discipline than the other sports. And it goes with you throughout your life. Healthy eating, healthy lifestyle, body posture, the way you walk, the way you think, your flexibility, your movement, your strengthening of muscles. I don't think people really understand the dynamics of this sport. So here's your platform, and you can also move in as to what we would be getting on Saturday. But here's the platform now to really, really talk about your sport. I'm going to leave Leon go first, and then you're going to talk about your sport. Why? Because you said you're getting goosebumps, Leon. You said you're feeling it this rounds. I going to be there, like I tell you, I done got my boy Pedro, I got my boy Dennis, I got my boy Orlando. We coming out. We always come out. You know, why? Because we know that the competition is steep. All right? And when we look from how it was at the cultural center, and then how it was at the sports auditorium, and then how it moved at Omnisport, we see our fellas and them growing. And then we saw Desmond was in one show too, and we say, boy, if he put in another good year of discipline and hard work, he'll be coming up there. Elaborate a bit, right, as to where you would like to see this sport reach in St. Maarten, Leon.
Well, I like to see the sport reach top level. I would like to see this sport reach where we can bring some champs like Doran Yates. We got to, you know, when it reached to that level that you can bring athletes like that, you know, that is die hard for the sport and came from nothing, and you can have seminars and stuff and bring our young bodybuilders or our young athletes up to get to love the sport and make the sport grow to a capacity where we have championships here at least twice a year. That's where I want to see the sport reach, and it could reach there. You know, I think the main thing about this sport is not only the sponsoring, but you need to have someone that can give a good PR, somebody that can go and publish this show much better than it is, because a lot of people still doesn't know what bodybuilding means. A lot of people still think that once you work out in the gym, you're a bodybuilder. It's not like that. The gym produce power lifters. The gym produce all type of athletes, because no matter how you look at it and you're an athlete, you have to go to the gym. Yep. You know? So when you see somebody in the gym, you can't just say, that's a bodybuilder there. No, he's not a bodybuilder. He could be a tennis player. He could be a track and field, you know?
Karate or something.
Karate, but he's in the gym because you need to work out. You need to get your muscles up to par. You got to get your strength. You have to, you know, put some muscles on. But when you're a bodybuilder, it's different. Bodybuilder is like building a house. You got to go from foundation up to the roof. You got to work every muscle part. You got to make sure that you eat right. You got to make sure you sleep right. You got to make sure that you take your vitamins, because it's a sport that also comes with a lot of injuries, that you have to know how to overcome your injuries, that you got to know how to take your massages. You got to know, you know, when to lay off for a while, take a rest. It's a very hard sport, and but it's a very sweet sport. It's a sport that when you get on stage, it's like a boxer. It's just you. You don't have nobody else but you on stage battling it out against your opponents, and that's the love I have for the sport. I like to know when I'm on stage, and I could.
I like the Michael Jackson move.
Well, you got all kind of moves. The thing is about this sport, it's a mixture. It's a mixture of dancing, flexibility. Yeah. You can mix them all, and that's what makes it so sweet. And don't forget, it makes you travel places, and that's what I like.
Let's bring it over to the female side of it now, because I know I was treating a young lady, and I begged her not to compete. in a show that she wanted to go into because I felt she wasn't ready. I felt she needed to work on her legs a little bit more. I felt she needed to tone a little bit more. But to my surprise, she went up to the show and she came in second. And I was amazed to see the structure and the physique that she had. I believe she went in the fitness part of it. And I asked her, I said, well, what did the judges tell you? And she said, my legs. I said, you see, I told you about it. So let's talk about the female side of it and where you think the sport should reach in terms of reaching out to the schools, in terms of reaching out to the young women. You know, instead of always want to be everywhere where a pa and knock. Come and get into this sport. You mentioned something, Leon. You know, when you talk about take your time because it's a matter of foundation. How old is Phil Heath? Phil Heath is in his 20s, his late 20s, I believe. And he is Mr. Olympia. Yep. So when young people think that is a sport with only older guys, that's absolutely not true. Kia Green is also a very young person. He came into the top 10, you know? So in Mr. Olympia, let's talk about the women, though, right? Do you think that the sport is attractive to women? And what sort of message you would like to send to young ladies?
I think the reason why most women do not go in the gym to train or do not take part in this sport is because they think that you always will be muscular, you know? And I showed them in 2009, I had my coworkers and they tell me, no, you always, I say, no, do me a favor. Come to the show and you will see. You will see me when I'm on diet and then after the competition finish. And when they saw that, and then they see the difference, you know, they're like, okay. So I get most of them to go into the gym and train, but most men just get intimidated when they see women with muscles. Yes, and I think that is why women do not go in the gym and train and, you know, get in the sport.
Would you like to go into schools and talk about this sport to young people? I mean, especially the young girls. Because, you know, let me say it this way. There are many more sporting events that cater to young men, that cater for the boys. Basketball, okay, softball, baseball, track and field, cycling. It mostly caters for men. But we don't really have much sports that gears too much the women besides volleyball now and again and softball. So, I mean, don't you think it's something encourageable for young women?
I think, yes, it is. And I was coming back to that. I think we need like to go and give like seminars, you know, and talk shows. So the women, them, not only the women, but in the schools, so they can see, you know, do a demonstration so they can see that, you know, it doesn't matter who it is, you know, you have to like yourself. And then, you know, you can do the sport. It's a very good thing, and I will love, and that's the reason why I stick in it. Because we need to have these women back on track.
Right.
And with me in this sport, I'm going to make it happen. That's why I stick in it.
That's what I'm talking about. Leon, you want to add to that?
Yes, I'm going to add to that. I'm going to give a little idea for the viewers and the listeners that doesn't have much knowledge about the sport, and especially the ladies. When they open a book, when they open the fitness books and they see the fitness women, sometimes they say, wow, how can I look like that? Or they say, whoa, too much muscles. I don't want to look like that. You know, but people got to realize your body takes you to different levels. When you start a train, that's when you see where your body takes you. And wherever your body takes you, that's where you're going to let it go. Competition day is the day when you see them at their best. So when you're sometimes reading a book and you notice that's not the way they look year round. Some people that doesn't have the knowledge, they look and they say, when they see the books and they see how the women look, especially bodybuilders as women, they frown and stuff like that. But they doesn't look like that all year round. They have been dieting, they've been working hard, and that's competition day look. You look at that person 2 weeks after that show, and they're smooth out. They have muscles, yes, but you don't see all that hard and that dryness. You will your jaw would drop looking at a woman like that. If you have a chance and you look at the magazines that does the bait and shoot shots of the bodybuilding women, you will be surprised. You'll be surprised. They're not on a competition day. They're a lot softer, and their body looks awesome, really awesome. And I had a chance to see it because I went to the Mr. Olympia in 2001. I was in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I look at the bodybuilding show there, and I also see them taking photo shoots, and it was amazing just to be in arena and along so many professional athletes, and really huge people, man, where everybody looks good. Over 200, 300 people looks excellent. You know, it makes you feel real good. It's something that if anybody have a love for the sport, they should go at least once and see a show like that live. And it will give you an inspiration, man. When I go back home, I going back and I going back to that gym, and I gonna want to look like this, and that's a really inspiration. The good thing about this sport, female and male, is when you travel and you meet the beautiful people out there that wants to help you, they want to get online with you, they want to give you information, they want to suck you with stuff that you can keep on going and motivate you. That's what helps you give you that encouragement for the sport as well. You know, so we're gonna do this, and definitely St. Maarten competitions and shows is only a start, but it's only a peak start for where we're gonna end up in September. September is the big show and the big event. Anybody can make it there. That'll be great.
That's the show in Puerto Rico.
That's the show in Puerto Rico, the CAC, which is Central Latin American Championships, which is held every year. And that's the show that you can win your pro card, and you can go much further from there and compete in all the pro shows in the U.S.
I believe St. Maarten will be hosting, or the French side should be hosting, or want to host it in 2014. Are we ready?
If I'm not mistaken, they got invite. It's just the okay from the president here on the French side that yes, he can do it. But if I'm not mistaken, the ball was draw. If that happens, that would be awesome for
St. Maarten on the map.
Yep, that would be really awesome.
There's something I want to talk to you about, Leon, sorry, because I saw it in the show that happened in the sports auditorium, and I said to myself, I said, wow, this boy full of discipline. And it's a show where me and my crew were screaming and shouting because we felt that you had to win your class. And I remember there was a judge from Aruba, and at the end of it, me and the judge and myself got in a little tussle because I felt he cheated. You know, we was contemplating saying Leon back was broader. The other fella was too smooth. Leon, look at Leon calves, look at his thighs. This other fella didn't have nothing, and you walked up on stage, you receive your trophy, you smile, you put your hand up, you bow, you walk off. And the guy from Curacao took his trophy and he threw it down because he was upset. He felt he had to win. This kind of, I mean, even though you know that, or you felt it, that this was your show and you had to win this show, but yet the judges saw it differently. Don't you get upset? I mean, don't you go back to the judges and say, look, listen, I think you're, I mean, how do you manage to maintain that composure and just accept the results, Leon? Because we felt you had to take that trophy. We felt you won your class. But the judges saw it different, and you accepted the trophy with grace. And the guy from Curacao got upset when he got off a stage. He threw his trophy down.
Yeah, I remember that show.
Right.
I believe in sportsmanship. I believe if you have winners and you have losers, but at the end of the day, it's a judge's decision. I felt like I should have won, yes, but I always say I'll be back. That's the way I think. You know, I say okay, I'll let it pass. I could be back. My mom was at that show at that same time, and she said, "Leon, why are you competing again? Because they're cheating." So I look at her, I said, "Mom, that's not the way athletes should think. I think if you lost, you dust it off, and you come back again. And at the end of the day, this is the way I feel. If I'm crowd favorites, I still feel good.
You know you're supposed to win. You felt you had it in the bag. The crowd was cheering for you. They were saying, yes, she taking it this time. You had the broad smile on the face. Your dress was, everything was in order and everybody was cheering. How do you manage to deal with the negative part when they said you did not win, when they call out the win and you're like, but something just doesn't seem right? How do you deal with the part of just accepting the decision and saying, don't you get a feeling that you're going to throw in the towel and say, that's it for me, I don't feel like doing this anymore?
Well, last year at the French side, after the show, which I felt bad, it was...
That's the show I'm talking about.
Yes, I felt really, really bad. And I said, I am not going back again. I said it. And my friends then come and say, no, don't give up. I said, no, I am not going back because it was the second time they cheat. I mean...
You felt that way?
Yes.
This is what I'm talking about, Leon. I know sometime you would feel that.
It was the second time, so I said, I will never go back. But, you know, as Leon said, you just have to dust it off and continue. And look me now, here I'm back.
Yeah, because you look at it that there's more roads up ahead. You compete in St. Maarten, there's a show. Yes, there may be different judges from abroad and stuff like that, but here is only a start in. You know, if you go out there and you notice how many competitions there is out there, just drawing an example of Verdine Connor from Anguilla.
Yeah, I was coming
he just got his pro card last Saturday. I watched that show streaming on I think it was Miami Classic. Yeah, and I could tell you that it was an awesome show to look at. And when you look at it, when you're in a different country and there's nobody from your country cheering for you, you got to go up with a lot of guts. And that's what he did. And he topped it off. And this is what I look at. I look at that and I see myself there. And I said to myself, listen, you don't have to be the best for certain people in certain places because of the grudge and the spite and the down courage that you get from certain people. You just push yourself and take yourself to that next level, and you will get rewarded, trust me.
I'm sorry we don't have the pictures to show them what they look like on stage, because I had a few pictures of them, but he mentioned a name a while ago, Verdine Connor, right, from Anguilla. Now, I was looking at his pictures the other day when he won his pro card, and the man looks good. But I always felt he was cheating in his weight. Whenever he comes over to St. Maarten, for some reason, it just doesn't seem that he was in the right weight class. He wouldn't go up to heavyweight because he know our boy Alvin would have squeezed him out from there. So he stayed down in the Leon and them class, you know? And I always felt he was wrong. And I remember speaking to some judges, Leon, and they said it's about your weight. It's about your weight, and when you reach to a certain weight, you have to go up to a certain class. And he always managed to maintain or stay in a certain weight to compete. You felt he was cheating himself a bit by staying in that weight class and not wanting to go up?
No, well, as a bodybuilder, you always want to be to the top of the weight class that you're competing against. And for some reason, and I must say, luckily for him, St. Maarten never really have all the weight classes that could portray out there where he will fall in. So if he is actually a light heavy weight and he comes to St. Maarten and there's 3 weight classes, light, middle, and heavy, he's gonna try drop in the middle weight so he can be in the top of that weight class.
Why he
so
wouldn't go up to heavy?
So he wouldn't go up to heavy
Exactly.
because
Exactly.
he know, and that's the advantage that he takes. That's the advantage he takes. But looking at a bodybuilder perspective, in a sense, you can't give him wrong. Everybody wants to get first place. Curacao does it a lot,
Yeah.
and we have to look out for them coming back down to St. Maarten because that's a country never likes to lose, and they always like to be in the top of the weight classes that they could. But they have a surprise coming up for them this year.
Tell me about Saturday. Tell me what we're going to see when they say back. Tell me when they say tricep. When they say, put out your legs and squeeze. What are we going to get from your person? Because I said, I felt I felt that last show you won. That's how it felt. And the judges saw it different. Okay? But when they say double bicep, what are we going to see from you?
I think you should explain the crowd that what you step up to from where you was, so that they can know.
Yes, well, for all the viewers who knows me competing as a fitness, this year I am not in fitness anymore. This year I'm gonna be a bodybuilder. I mean, I'm gonna compete as a bodybuilder. Yes, I had to be there a long time. Yeah. I was just, skipping it, but this year I'm going for it.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe I was taking it out. Strike a pose, show me something. But no, you got to come out on Saturday. Come out on Saturday to see exactly what will be on show. Now, Leon, tell us everything about Saturday coming. Tell us where we can get tickets still, if there are tickets available, the price of the ticket, how much it's going to cost at the door, and everything, who's putting it on, the name of the gym. Tell us everything about the show coming up Saturday.
All right, the show, for the people that don't know, the show is going to be held at the Omni Sports in Galleys Bay. That's on the French side. If someone don't know where Galleys Bay Omni Sports is actually, it's in that back way from, if you're catching that boat to go to Anguilla on the harbor, on the French side, and you take that back road, you're gonna see the big sports hall that they keep the basketball and the volleyball there. It's called Omni Sports. That's where the event is going to be held. The time is going to be at 7 o'clock sharp. They're going to try and start at 7 o'clock, so that on the dot, so that we can have a lot of time for the athletes to get the dinner after and stuff like that. They're definitely going to start on time, so try not to be late. Try be on time to get a good seat. Tickets are sold at, from any art leagues, or you can get it at the most various gyms, such Royal Palm, at Juliet Gym. You can also get tickets at the from Modine, from me. You can get.
What's your number?
My number is 553-0022. That's 553-0022. You can call me and get tickets. The tickets is going fast though, but call me. This is the last week. You don't want to miss it. That's the place to be this Saturday at the Omni Sports, and you'll get everything there. Another thing is what you all should remember. What you all should remember is that we have a guest poser that is coming in from Antigua, if I'm mistaken. Trinidad. I'm sorry, Trinidad. Yeah, Trinidad. She's coming in from Trinidad. She's she's a pro bodybuilder, and you will love her. She's great. She's big. She's very attractive, and she's gonna put on a very, very good show. Yeah.
Good. Maureen, last couple of minutes in the program. Give me your last words.
Okay, I'm asking everybody to come out and come and support the Dutch and the French side. Not only us, but all the athletes who participate in. And please get your tickets, because they go in like hot bread. Yeah. Come out and have a good time on Saturday.
Any last words, Leon?
Yes, this is the first big international show in a long time in St. Maarten. So please, you all come on out. I just want to send a special thanks to my girl, because without she, I wouldn't be here today. And I also want to say thanks to Francois and the team out there on the French side. Please, everybody, come on out. It's going to be #1.
Well, of course, we are down to the last minute in the program. What I'm going to do probably on Wednesday, if I can get my girl Jennifer Johnson in on the program, because I believe she's part of the board, she's part of the organizing committee. So we'll talk a bit about the gym on the French side, a bit about Francois, a bit about the committee and everything else for a short, brief time in the program. But like we have it here, come on Saturday. Come and see what St. Maarten is up against. Come and see how we're going to perform, because I'm confident in the athletes that we have. I like what I'm hearing from the people that I have here, from Leon, from Maureen. I like what they're saying. She's getting goosebumps. And I'm telling you, I am getting goosebumps myself sitting close to her. I'm seeing the bulges. I want to touch her now, but I won't. Saturday, come out and check it out. 7 o'clock, the Omnisport. St. Maarten, take care of yourself. God bless each and every one of you guys. I'll see you back tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.